back to the Ready Room. I'm your host, Brittany Campbell, and that is the last time I'll be saying that for a little while. We are officially, as sad as I am to say it, at the finale of season 1 of the Ready Room. It's been such a ride. It has flown by so fast, and there is no more fitting person to join me today than co-host Kylie Masse. Kylie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And you have your first cue card. We've got some official business to attend to. We will get to that later. But for now, I just wanted to kind of set the scene of the episode. The World Cup just finished. We're going to chat through that. We also have a Commonwealth Games team announcement for the 2026 roster. We're going to talk about that. And then we're going to end the episode with some fun little awards where we reflect back on the season that was. But maybe just to start off, I wondered from your end, like looking back April to where we're at now, like, have you had fun doing this with me? Has it been enjoyable?
Oh my God, the most fun. I feel like this has been so fulfilling in so many ways, and this sport needs it, and I'm so happy that you're doing it and grateful that you're doing it, grateful that you have asked me to be a part of it, and hopefully we can continue.
I love it. Thank you so much. It's been so fun. I've said all along, you've been the fit that I was looking for. So thanks for trusting me and coming along for this crazy ride. Not been perfect, but we've had a lot of fun along the journey. So with that, we do want to get to real business to start off with, which was the World Cup that just happened, because it was quite a big deal. Toronto hosted an amazing event. I call it the World Record Palooza, but there were quite literally 8 world records broken just on this stop alone.
Insane.
We're going to, get there. But first I want to talk about the big Canadian elephant in the room. Josh Liendo breaks a world record in the 100 butterfly, the first men's world record. And I made sure I fact checked this since Brian Johns in 2003.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago, Kylie. Talk me through watching that happen.
Yes, it was insane. For him to do that in a pool that he grew up in and has had so many memories in with his family in the stands, like there's truly not a better place to get your first world record and to get a world record period.
Yeah.
So watching that, watching him experience that and have just such an amazing swim was really, really special. And I think to see the fans go crazy and to just see Canadians get behind it and see it blow up was really cool.
It was so fun to watch. And I think we speak alongside Josh by saying nobody was really expecting this to happen. I mean, you look back on the couple 2 stops before it, and he took 2 full seconds off. Like, can you explain to me in a 100-meter event, how much time is 2 seconds?
Yeah, it's a lot of time in the pool, period.
Yeah.
Dropping 2 seconds is unheard of in a race. So, for him to come from the first stop in Indy and do that at the final stop here in Toronto, it really just showed his determination. And I think he really thrived from the crowd. He thrived from being at home. He thrived from the support of Canadians. So, it shows the power of sport. It shows what having the stands filled and attention on swimming can do. People want to put on a show, and he was really able to do that. So proud of him, and that was really special to watch.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Make sure you are packing the stands for years to come, because you never know when a Canadian can break a world record because of it. So I do want to give a special shout out as well to Ilya, because he had an incredible meet. And to Josh's point on the world record, he didn't have an easy field in that event. Like, he had the previous world record holder, Noe Ponte, right beside him. Ilya Kharun, who up until that point had been beating him at every event. And how fun is it to watch those two go back and forth in the butterfly events? I mean, Ilya was able to take home the Triple Crown in the 50 and in the 200. And then this 100, they had this like given, the games were all around between Noe, Josh, and Ilya. But the Triple Crown, just to provide our audience some context at home, means that all 3 World Cup stops, the same athlete won all 3. So congrats to Ilya. I mean, talk to me a little bit about getting to watch those two go head to head.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great camaraderie. They have a really special relationship, and I think it's great for the both of them. They obviously push each other, and they're pushing the sport forward. They're pushing boundaries, and just to see Ilya's growth over the last couple of years has been really cool as well. He obviously has a bright future, and for them to have each other in these moments, a little bit low pressure right now, but through a Olympics or a Worlds, like having each other to be able to lean on through those times is incredible.
Yeah, and it takes a really special person to be able to watch somebody that you've trained with or, root for, but also achieve things that you've always dreamed of. And like the both of them have seen each other reach podiums that they wish they were on and vice versa. So to see them kind of have these moments to share, I think is so powerful. And it, like you said, it's the power of sport, right? Is why we all tune in and why we love what we get to watch and what we do. Last kind of note on this meet, because it was a world record palooza, I did want to give some shout outs. They were everywhere. Night one, it was Josh Liendo in the 100 fly, and then Hubie Koch in the 200 back. On night two, Molly O'Callaghan in the 200 freestyle. And then night three, there were 5. I think over half of the races had a world record in them, which was just bizarre. I remember being in the mix zone being like, did they measure the pool? Like, are we being punked? But Lainey Pallister, 800 free, Hubie Koch in the 100 back, Kaylee McEwen, 200 back, which Kylie and Reagan, 2 weeks in a row, were both under the previous world records, like bananas. Kate Douglas, first woman under 50 in the 100 free, and then Casper Corbo in the 200 breaststroke. It was insane. The energy was electric. I do want to ask you a little bit about this, like, Canadian men story arc, because for so many years we've talked a lot about the women, as we should. But, it started in 2016 where the women were winning all of these amazing Olympic medals, and then they're athletes like you, athletes like Penny, athletes like Summer, athletes like Maggie. And this meet, it was clear that the men were the statement. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it's I mean, obviously I've been around for a couple years to see that ebb and flow. And I think, again, it's just the nature of the sport. There's always going to be, people doing well and people that are up and coming, and to just see the men really get the attention that they deserve is nice. And I think they were definitely tired of getting the question about how the women were doing in previous years. So I think for them to just be able to put on a show for Canada and for the rest of the world is great momentum, great momentum leading into LA, and just a really big confidence boost for them and for the women as well. I think when you're able to see success and you can ride on that momentum together, and it really elevates everyone.
Yeah, well, I think all of those world records on that last day, there is something for the theme of momentum, right? Like they're quite literally watching somebody do a world record. It's like, that looks fun. I might dabble. Yeah. I know Kate Douglas, I feel like she said that of like, everyone else was doing it. I should probably get in here. And I'm like, this is insane. Yeah. I do want to give a quick overview. Canada was third in the medal table for the third stop of the World Cup, 12 medals. 9 of those came from men. So that's a pretty big deal. And that's a really exciting kind of indicator of what the future of swimming in this country looks like. We know the women are there. We know the women will continue to be strong, but how exciting. Finley was also on the podium. We spoke about Josh and we spoke about Ilya. So congrats to everyone competing. You as well, Kylie. I am forever proud. You were in all those finals, giving it a great battle. Special shout out to Taylor Ruck, who broke her first Canadian record since 2018. Woohoo. That is a grind, 8 years. And that was in the 50 free. It was so fun to see her smile in the mix zone. So Tay, we are so proud of you. So congratulations. We're going to move on to our hot topic of the week, which is the roster announcement for the Commonwealth Games. Guess whose name is on it? Our very own Kylie Masse. This event is happening in Glasgow, Scotland. So this is July 23rd to August 2nd of next year. 6 men and 6 women were on the roster. I'll quickly name them just so everyone at home is aware of who's going. Sophie Angus, Julie Brousseau, Ella Jansen, Madison Krieger, Delia Lloyd, and Kylie Masse on the women. And then Oliver Dawson, Josh Liendo, Ben Lowen, Antoine Sauvé, Ben Winterbourne, and Lauren Wigginton. So this is a combination of brand new names to the national team, and then there are some massive veterans in that list. Talk to me a little bit about your decision to opt into this event.
Yeah, I think everybody had a little bit of a different approach depending on where they are and what their plans are for the next couple of years. But personally, I see as an opportunity race. I love the Commonwealth Games, and I've been a part of the last few, so I always had great competition there. And ultimately for me, I'm just taking advantage of any opportunity that I get to race. With it being a little bit later on in the year, I'm looking forward to building into that and just seeing what I could do.
Yeah, I love that. And if you're wondering, how this team was compiled, there were a few nomination categories. So one of the events was Canadian Swimming Trials back in June. Another event was the FISU Games, so people could qualify based on the results there, as well as their results at the World Championships in Singapore at the end of the summer, and the World Junior Championships. So basically, the selection committee at Swimming Canada took results of all 4 of those events, and then every swimmer gets to basically opt in or opt out. So they'll work with their coaches, their support staff, everyone around them to decide, is this something I do want to queue into? If you're wondering why wouldn't you, there is a very tight squeeze between Commonwealth Games and Pan Pacs. So Pan Pacs are happening in California, and they are only about a week, 10 days, give or take, after the fact. So it is for some people a little bit of a heavy endeavor, but I think that's what's cool about this roster. I mean, you see someone like Oliver Dawson or Madison Krieger who are still in their junior days that repetition is important. Getting experience internationally is really important. And you have someone like you or Josh who you've been there, you've done that, but you see the importance of, okay, I know at this point in my career, I am aware of what serves me. And for some people, training and focusing is all that they need. And other people need the experience of racing. And that's a great thing too. So I think this roster is going to be fun. And I'm excited to see what you do there and how you're an amazing leader, as always, for these young people coming up. And maybe they're going to be some of our national team that we're talking about for years to come, which is awesome. Okay, so we're going to move into our final segment, which is a fun little, I'm calling it the best of awards, but kind of we're reflecting back on the season that was. I feel like it wouldn't be right to close out the show without kind of looking back a little bit on what has happened, the conversations we've had, the impact it's definitely given me, and I hope some people back home. So let's dive into some of our highlights of the year. With that, the very first one I wanted to have a little fun with was Kylie, just a bit of formatting. We're each going to answer our favorite moment. Some of them we may or may not have overlaps. We don't know each other's answers yet, so we'll find out through it. So number one, I have your favorite no-cap answer.
So my favorite no-cap answer was when Sebastian answered at trials, I believe it was.
Yes. Okay, so we have the same answer for this one. How fun. Okay, so it was when I asked basically like, what's your hot take with swimming?
Yes.
And his answer was literally,
hilarious.
I don't think 800 and 1500 freestylers should be a thing.
He barely took any time too to think about it. He was just like, no distance. I have no interest in it. 800, 1500, no thank you. Like 200 max. And I love that so much, especially standing there as a distance swimmer. I was like, this is amazing, and I love this take. And I wasn't expecting it, and I think that made it so much better.
Yeah.
So
he was like, it's filler.
Yeah, it's just filler. Nobody needs it. Yeah. He's iconic. So shout out to Sebastian. You win our both of our no cap answer of the year. Okay, this second one, I was gonna say favorite episode, but that seemed way too vague because I love all our episodes, and it's like picking your favorite child. Yeah. So I'm gonna call it favorite moment with a guest. Okay. Kylie, what was your moment?
Okay, so I chose more of a favorite episode.
Okay, great.
But I decided on the episode with Aurelie.
Okay.
Because I felt like she has a really beautiful perspective on the sport, having been in it for so long, and she's just at a very dynamic time in her life, and to just hear what she had to say, I felt like she had a lot of wisdom in that episode for people to learn from and listen to.
I couldn't agree more. She was phenomenal. I said right away, and I was like, you need to be doing more of this like talking thing behind the screen because you're fabulous. Yeah. So I couldn't agree more. I think honestly, there isn't a single episode that I didn't enjoy, which sounds so lame, but it's so true. So special shout out to everyone because you're so important. My moments, I think I have to give it, I have two. It was a tie. I'm so sorry. Number one was when Fred said that he thinks Summer, Fred Verneau said that he thinks Summer can break 8 minutes in the 800 free.
I think Summer could go under 8 minutes and be the first one to break 8 minute, long course. No question.
And it was so pure because he had literally we had very short amount of time with him, and he just wrapped up, and then we were just getting Gabby at the end, and then he's like, oh yeah, and it just took me off guard. I was like, this is amazing. Whoa. Yeah, seriously, it was so fun. So shout out to Fred. That was one of my highlights. And then another one was when I did get the chance to sit down with Summer. I think it really impacted me of the weight of that conversation, knowing how big of a star she is both in Canada and globally. And for me, very early on in my call it journalism career, whatever this is, I think that was really hitting me of okay, we're doing something really important here. And to be able to sit down with Summer and then also be able to show her, I did the joking, can you sign this picture for me?
Summer, do you mind signing? Oh my God. I vividly remember this. Oh my God. I was like, no way, I got a picture with her.
It was a picture of us from back in 2016. And she was just a little baby. And now to think of all she's achieved. I also am really reflective when it comes to Summer because we were coached by the same coach growing up. And there's so many different intricacies there. But I think that moment for me, it hits really hard because it's it's the past, the future, the present, all the things.
Full circle.
Yeah, full circle. Yeah. I'm already emotional. Amazing stuff. Okay, race of the year. So this one's a little bit separate to the actual show itself. But looking at the 2025 swim season, what's your race of the year?
So I decided the 800 free.
Me too. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, we had to.
Yeah.
Like just an insane stacked field,
Yeah.
obviously with Summer being there as well, having a Canadian.
Yeah.
But just the race between the three of them was insane.
Yeah. So Katie Ledecky has historically, GOAT status when it comes to distance swimming and swimming in general. She's unbelievable. And so many people in theory could have counted her out this year. I mean, it's like the young up and coming star mixed with the veteran, and there's one has an advantage, whatever.
Yeah.
But she broke the world record in this current year. And then there's Summer, who's swimming better than ever, is coming in with kind of like the cat and mouse game, and she's playing chase, and then bring in a third character in Lanny Pallister, the Aussie, that dropped about 5 seconds from her previous best time and put her name in this hat. And we thought it could take a world record in order to break it. They didn't break the world record, but it was close. And at the 700-meter mark of an 8-minute race, they were all only separated by about a tenth or two of a second. Like it was textbook amazing racing to watch. And I know I'm biased because the 800 free is one of my favorite events, but usually that was a race that people used to be like, okay, we can like go to commercial break. This was like don't look away type television for 8 minutes. It was so cool. And the stories within it, the intricacies of it, and the fact that Ledecky was able to pull it off, like that woman had the weight of the world and pressure on her, and yet she performed. It was unbelievable. So she gets my crown. I also all three of them get my crown for that, because it was truly remarkable racing, and it was so fun to see, and I cannot wait for that to continue in this sport. So shout out to the race of the year, the women's 800 free at Worlds.
Yes.
I'm glad we agreed on that one.
Yeah.
My next award, I'm calling the new kid on the block. So this one is really just like a breakout swimmer that took your attention or caught your attention this year. Who was yours?
My breakout swimmer is Blake Tierney. I felt like he really stepped up at World Championships in Singapore in the 200 backstroke, placing 4th.
Anytime you can go a Canadian record, that's awesome. So I'm super grateful for that.
I feel like it's really easy to get into that final and kind of get a little bit freaked out or just, begin to doubt. But I felt like he really rose to the occasion. He performed, won a best time. I think it was a Canadian record. And he just had great confidence, and I feel like that bodes well for him in the future, and to just get that experience and have that under his belt now and moving forward, like he has a bright future.
Yeah, and not only did he break the Canadian record, but every single time he swam the event, he got faster, which is so hard to do at that level, and you understand it better than everyone, but to go from the preliminary to the semi to the final and continue to get faster, it takes like quite literally like an exact science. And so the fact that with all this excitement, under the bright lights, he pulled it off. That's pretty remarkable. And it wasn't a medal moment, so maybe it doesn't always get the same attention that other moments get, but it was remarkable. So special shout out. My vote for this one is actually going to go to Mary Gibb. So she was a breakout star to me at Para Worlds. It was phenomenal to watch her do her thing. She won her first event of the meet, which was on the second day, the 200 IM. And in dominating fashion. And one of my favorite parts was not only hearing what I had the chance to chat with her after, which was so special, but also hearing the way Kat Roxon and Orly Rivard, two of like our greatest para swimmers of all time, the way that they both said like throughout training camp and different things, they were getting little messages of like, Mary's like our future star. Like she's it, she's coming. And then to watch her win this gold at World Championships after just getting a little bit of a taste of the Paralympic field last year, she is a name I think we're going to be talking about for a while. So she's my breakout new kid on the block. A shout out to Mary. It was phenomenal watching what she did. Okay, we have two more. Second last one, your favorite swimmer post-race reaction.
So we just touched on it briefly, but I'd have to say Josh's world record and his celebration after that. Again, I think it was a little bit unexpected. So the emotion was raw, and he had a great celebration. And I feel like, again, it just... the energy, you could feel it, and the excitement was there. So it was special to watch.
It was so special. And I think that was like like you said, like raw joy.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't necessarily going in with the weight of the world the same way some of these moments that we just talked about. But you're just like, he saw the clock, he saw the WR, the crowd is I can't. It's chills. My moment's actually going to go to the short course World Cup as well, but it's actually going to go to a moment between Ilya and Josh. So not necessarily a race touch reaction, but I thought which was so special, and it kind of like accumulates everything that the two of them are doing for this sport in this country, was when Josh was riding the full momentum on this meet, right? Josh had won his individual events. He had won the 50 free, he'd won the 100 free, he'd won the 100 fly. And then the 50 fly, Ilya was going for the crown, which meant he was going to win them at all 3 stops. But Josh was basically going into this, what people assumed, okay, well then Josh has this meet, he's got this.
Yeah.
And then it was Ilya that outtouched him, Josh and Noe, both of them, in the 50 fly. So he got the crown. And to the crowd for the first 2 nights of that meet, it was all energy pointing towards Josh.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you know, Ilya kind of took a deep breath of like, I'm still here in a sense. And then Josh took a second to give him the crown and put it on his head and put his hand up in the air for the rest of the field. And I just thought that was so special because it had been Josh's moment, and now it was Ilya's moment. And he kind of acknowledged that it was Ilya's moment and tried to get the crowd like just as excited for Ilya as it was for him. So that to me just like was such a special reminder of what those two can achieve when they're doing things together. And I just, it might not be like a touch reaction, but it was like just the moment of when Ilya's arm was raised by Josh and he put the crown on. It was so cool to me. So shout out to those two because they're amazing. Okay, last but not least, your favorite social moment. So whether it was like a reel or a little cut we had on social throughout the whole season of the Ready Room, what was yours?
I would have to say my favorite cut was the video and clip of Devin doing the media race.
You know, I was really, really committed to the dive until I wasn't.
I thought it was hilarious and just, I mean, like, props to him. Like, not many people are willing to get up and do that. So kudos to him for trying and for doing it and just, like, humanizing the sport and putting on a show. And he had fun with it, which I love.
He did. He had so much fun with it. And the fact that, like, in the edit, it was just, like, the slow-mo of the dive, like, multiple times. Shout out editor Mike for slowing down that moment over and over again. And it was so pure. And then he did the post-race mixed zone interview as well and went through it. It was amazing. I just love those.
Yeah.
That was up there for me. But I'm actually going to give it to a moment with you. So we had done a quick touch base episode before you went to one of the Pro Swim Series stops.
Okay.
And your answer, I was talking a little bit about, I'm like, what are you most looking forward to? And you were like, I've been really feeling good in my speed. Like, I'm really excited about my 50 back. And then you go and you break the Canadian record in the 50 back.
Then I'm most excited to swim is the 50 backstroke. And so just kind of see where I'm at and hopefully build off of that over the next couple of meets, like I said.
Get your money, man. Life goes on. Yes, I am hopeful for today.
I just thought that was so fun because it's like a quick, easy social tidbit, but it was so pure too because it's like going into the meet, you probably weren't like, I'm going to go a best time today, but you did it and it was lovely and best ever Canadian to do it. So that has my moment. And I mean, this has been so fun just reflecting on it because it reminds you of like that was so early in the season and think of all the conversations we've had since then. It's been such a pleasure and such a thrill. We've laughed, we've cried. I've had pretty much every emotion in between. Before we do sign off, I have a little gift for you to say thank you for all the work you have put in. Like I said, Kylie got a phone call from me one day and I was like, Kylie, I promise I won't put too much work in on this. I put too much work on you, but I would love your voice to be heard on this platform. And you took a chance on it. So I just want to say thank you.
Gosh, thank you.
And as you're opening it, just also a thank you to everybody behind the scenes that helps us make shows like this because it's not easy. Our operators, our producers, our editors, the production side. It is, we wouldn't do what we do without you. So thank you to everybody. But with that, I'll let you open. Yeah. We were just talking about this over the weekend, so I had to make sure.
Oh my God.
So Kylie saw me. Kylie saw me on deck the other day with a shirt that my friend Tara made me. So I figured it was only fitting that I make Kylie her own shirt to rep around because she was here the early days before we even had a name.
Oh my gosh.
And now she can officially rep the Ready Room wherever you go, whenever you feel up for it. But like you said, we're hoping to see everyone back for season 2. We are gearing here at CBC for the winter season. Excited to cheer on our winter athletes.
We are
in Milano. I know you're especially excited too, so can't wait to cheer on Team Canada in Milan. But hope to see you back in the spring, and we'll have more swimming to chat about. So signing off. Thanks, Kylie.
Thank you
it's
so
been
much.
so fun.
It
I
has
appreciate
been.
it, and thank you everyone at home.
Yes. Yes, thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you. Bye, guys.